Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Well, happy first day of August. August is one of my favorite months because of the anniversary, August 15th, when Nixon removed the gold standard from the U.S. Dollar, and I also am a big fan of sunny weather, obviously, and actually the hot weather here in Arizona doesn't really bother me. I would much rather deal with this than the cloudiness in Seattle, the wildfires over there. Believe me, when people complain about 120 degrees, first thing on my mind is usually that there's worse things to complain about. And so but I'm still struggling with personal burnout situations that began earlier this year. I thought my burnout was behind me when I took 2-3 weeks away from my art projects, and I felt so much better. Unfortunately, I started again, and then I felt burnt out again. I haven't totally reset the clock yet. I naively thought the 2 weeks was enough, but unfortunately, I had some more burnout situations this past week. Earlier in the week, I had a near-miss car accident. So go watch that video. But I had another one today. I'll get to that in a moment. I had some upsets as well, and some unexpected. I keep losing things. I think it's a sign of my burnout. I had a number of frustrating events this week that probably contributed to some of this burnout that I've been having. I do private tutoring. I advertise on Facebook Marketplace, and by and large, I mostly get good clients. I recently took on a client who is a little bit older. He's almost retired, and he wants to learn some computer skills. And he at first he mentioned that he had some health problems, and he told me about how he got surgery for his eyes and he went blind for 2 weeks, and I kind of felt sorry for him. But ever since he returned to my tutoring after that, he's had a terrible attitude. He for one thing, he didn't show up and didn't return my calls for some time, and then when he finally showed up, he argued with me about the price. And I kind of let it slide because he was just going through surgery. I said I shouldn't do this, and this is a very good rate I'm giving you, so why don't we try to get the most out of this. And he has a bad attitude. One day I want him to practice typing something onto the screen. He needed to create an account for creating a website. It asked him for an email and a password, and he literally stared at the screen for 10-15 minutes while he was trying to sort that out. And I asked him, is there a problem? I mean, I know your typing could use some work. I tried to be nice with him, but why don't we do it one letter at a time? Is there a hold? Can I ask what the holdup is? You spent 15 minutes staring at that. You spent 10 minutes staring at some other thing. He mentioned He mentioned that he had some other habits going on in his life, and after that class, I didn't want to work with him because I wasn't even making all that much. It was an odd hour a lot of times, and we spent a lot more time scheduling, changing schedules, than actually working. So that 1 hour that I tutored him, I might have spent 3 hours chasing him down. And at the end of it, I'm making $25. And then on top of that, he comes in strung out. And I was still trying to kill him with kindness, though. To give you an idea of how badly I was trying to kill him with kindness, I sent him a text after the class. I said, I know you had some recent traumatic events, but I really feel our time could be spent better when you've have stabilized a little bit. And I lied to him. I said, it's August. I actually put off my vacation because I know you just had surgery, and so if it weren't for working with you, I should have been on vacation right now. And given that you need to get readjusted. I said readjusted. I knew he had problems beyond his surgery, but I said, given that you need to be readjusted, how about I leave tomorrow and we'll come back to this when you're more ready for it. I put a lot of thought into that email. I probably spent an hour and a half thinking about that email because I want word of mouth, right? And and also from my own experience, I know I could give him the good rate, but I didn't want him to spread the good rate to other people. So I said, I'm doing you a big favor, right? Why don't we try to get the most out of it? I'm pretty much implying that this is a rate that you shouldn't share with other people, but I still wanted the word of mouth from him, right? So I kind of wanted it both. I spent a lot of time thinking about this. Okay, that was stress number one. The other stress I had was I have one colleague who I don't think I have a toxic relationship with him or anything. The problem is I'm having a hard time finding the right keys to open him. And to give you an idea, he comes into the office and he's completely silent. No weather, no sports, nothing about what he's doing. And that just makes me feel very uncomfortable. And I have a hard time opening up with him. I haven't found the right keys to his heart. And that's been driving me nuts. And then I almost got into another car accident today. What had happened was I was heading into the campus. Now, I go into the campus at a very odd hour, so I didn't think there would be a whole lot of traffic. I was very tired, and I missed my there's an entrance and an exit into the parking lot. I missed the entrance, and given how little traffic there is, I thought I could just go in through the exit. There's not going to be anybody. It's kind of hard to see the exit ramp going out into the highway, and I'll let you think about what happened as soon as I made that turn into the wrong way into the exit ramp. And I came 2 feet away from a disaster. I had to pull out, and everybody on the highway was honking at me. I got into another accident later that day, actually. I was on my way to a board game meetup to de-stress from all of this. After seeing my silent colleague, after thinking about the email to my strung-out client, I drove to the board game meetup without a problem. But as soon as I got off the road into the parking lot, my legs fell asleep. My legs just completely turned to rubber, and I hardly could get out of my car. It was like my body completely disappeared. So I don't know how I pulled into that parking spot. Anyways, it's August 1st. I'm going to temporarily suspend all my metal casting activity until at least August 15th. And maybe I'm thinking too hard about some of these wacky people that I'm dealing with. All right, so 2023 has been marked by the year of burnout for me. 2022 was marked by the year I moved out to the mountains, and so it's just a weird set of circumstances these last couple of years. But you know what? At least I have stuff to be burnt out about, right? I don't want to be like my client who has nothing better to do than to get himself high, and then argue with his teacher about stuff or nonsense, right? I don't want to be the guy who holds out in the office and it makes everybody else uncomfortable, right? At least I'm burnt out, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.